So apparently, LA gangbangers have been extorting Los Angeles City for years. They've been taking taxpayer dollars to so-called to not commit crimes, which is crazy because crime is still super duper high in Los Angeles. I honestly never heard of this program. I didn't know they've been doing this for decades. This is crazy. Like, why would you pay gang members millions of dollars just so you can have like funerals? They don't shoot up funerals and things like that. It's the craziest thing I ever heard in my life. Instead of locking these people away, they're giving them money. So we're gonna talk about it. This is Flacco. Hear what Flacco has to say about it. Flacco, if y'all don't know this gentleman, he used to be on Adam 22 show. I love his podcast. He does a lot of great videos. And he's very, very courageous for what he's doing, because he's actually being threatened by the LA gang members for telling people about this stuff, for putting this information out there. So shout out to Flacco, man. He don't care. He just wants the information out there. I love this dude. So big up to him. We're gonna react to this video. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. All right, let's play this clip. Here we go.
All right, so apparently he's upset about that I've been exposing how gangbangers have been scamming the city of LA for decades. All right, how I unraveled and uncovered this $42 million scam. If you guys are not aware what the $42 million scam is, then you are lucky you click on this video, okay? I'm going to break it down and make these ninjas even more mad. I've been pretty outspoken against this. Gangbangers have been extorting the city of Los Angeles for millions of dollars, and it's your taxpayer money, right? Our taxpayer money is going back into the grip of these gangbangers, okay? Los Angeles is funneling millions of dollars back to gangbangers of our tax-paying money, right, to fund their addiction to 4X Pro Club Tees and Cali Kush. Okay, they are living a wonderful life off of our taxpayer money. So this is what you call the GRID program, okay? Gang Reduction and Youth Development. In 2023, they got a $12.9 million increase for the 2023 to 2024 year, right? Now, that budget has gone up since, okay? But they approve a total budget of $41 million to go back into the pockets of gang leaders in the city. Instead of giving millions of dollars to tax-paying citizens, to people trying their hardest to get by, but they can't, they just need that little boost. I don't know, a scholarship funds for kids, single mamas who are trying their hardest, literal people who are working day and night to get by, but they just can't because the city is so expensive. Instead of giving it to these people, they decided the best use for your tax funds is to give it to gangbangers so they could buy as many 5X white tees as their heart desire. You know who I believe deserved the money more than a gangbanger? I believe, you know, the average working person who is up to here with stress, with bills, just needing to get by, get out of homelessness, get a home, and get their life back on track. I think people like this will deserve the money more than gangbangers.
Facts. It's crazy if you think about it. It's like, think about it. What if in New York, before we brought the RICO to take down the mob, what if like in Chicago and New York, instead of taking out the mob and arresting these people, they was giving them money to not commit so many crimes? Imagine that. $41 million. Like Flacco said, what if you created like a scholarship to help people or help people in need? No, they're taking $41 million and giving them to gangbangers. Are you serious? This doesn't even sound real. I mean, I don't know how I never heard of this program before.
Before I go, bro, you have this record. I am tired, bro. That's it. I'm tired. I'm tired, bro. I just tried to go donate plasma, but because I just found out I'm homeless because I've been living in a motel for the past year and a half. But because I am, I can't donate. So even the $100 that you give me for the thousands of dollars that you get from the byproduct of my body, I can't even have that. Ah! Fuck! Shit! Oh my God, bro.
But the question,
See, people like that who need help aren't getting the help. They're giving the money to gangbangers and illegal immigrants. Oh man, y'all need to run from these cities, run from these liberal, progressive ran cities, man.
is what is the GRID program, and why is the city given $42 million of hard-paying money from tax-paying citizens or hard-paying taxes? Why are they giving it
So that's what it's called, the GRID program.
to gangbangers? Why are they giving $42 million of my hard-earned money and your hard-earned money to gangbangers who loaf around and don't work as hard as you? Why? Why? Well, the GRID program was set up about 2 decades ago in 2007. And it was set up to reduce gang violence. It didn't work. All right. LA is just as dangerous as ever. All right. But even if it's a little less dangerous, even if the statistics have gone down a little bit, it still wouldn't be worth the $42 million they're currently getting. It's unfair. And also, too, bruh, all right, we're about to do a deep dive into exactly what the GRID program is. And you're about to see the GRID program is nothing but good old extortion.
Yeah. Before he get into it, let's look at the definition. I asked AI what the LA GRID program is. And so this is what they claim it does. We know what it does in reality. It's basically extortion. He's going to explain it, but this is what they say it does. This public safety initiative established in 2007 focuses on reducing gang violence in targeted communities within Los Angeles. It employs a comprehensive approach involving both gang intervention and prevention services. Here's more details. GRID's core mission is to reduce gang violence and enhance public safety in Los Angeles. Targeted approach. The program operates within designed GRID zones across the city. Prevention and intervention. GRID provides a range of services, including gang intervention, working directly with individuals involved in gangs to help them transition out of the lifestyle and connect them with resources for education, employment, and housing. Gang prevention, offering support and resources to youth at risk of joining gangs, helping them to develop positive alternatives and address risk factors. It sounds good, right? So here's some examples of the services, comprehensive services. They have summer night lights and fall Friday night programs, providing safe, supervised recreational activities for youth during the evenings. Online referral system, a tool to connect individuals with relevant GRID services and other community services. Research and evaluation. GRID actively tracks its impact on outcomes, including data, dashboards, and evaluations of program effectiveness. It's not, the crime is still horrible in LA, so it's not effective. They said the key feature of the program utilizes care first, strength-based approach, emphasizing individual needs, family support, and community engagement. They make it sound good, right? But ultimately what they're doing is paying gang members to not commit crimes, and it's not working. But let's listen to the rest of this here. Here we go.
It's textbook extortion, but it's legal, right? And they're paying them millions of dollars of your hard-earned money to extort you.
Yeah, so the city contract, man, everybody talking about the police this, police that. It came from the mayor's office. It came from Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa, and then it went to Eric Garcetti, and now Karen Bass is really slowly shutting it down. But it never had nothing to do with snitching. You don't tell. Somebody has said, oh, you get a phone from a sergeant. None of that. What it is, the city gives the agency $500,000 a year to reduce violence. So they got to hire 5 intervention workers, 2 case managers. The agency buys the phone. They give them a budget to buy phones. It don't come from a police station or nothing like that. They go out and buy their own phones and give it to the people that work with them. And their main job is just being proactive. So because developing options is in the 60s, well, mainly what they do is Slauson and Crenshaw.
When he says 60s, he's talking about the gang, the rolling 60s.
What they do is Crenshaw High School. anything that happened in the overhills. All that, what they do is they respond to shootings, or if somebody say it's a fight at the school, or, every time I call and say, well, I want y'all to sit down with somebody. Can we sit down? They always come through and sit down. So it's never that you don't have to sit at a meeting. And first of all, let me tell you about Big U. He don't go to none of the meetings. He don't go to the city meetings. He don't show up at the scene. He don't do nothing.
Big U is a gang member. They call he's an OG gang member. He's like the one of the top members up there. And he's basically saying that Big U, he's supposed to go to these meetings and stuff, but Big U is not really going to any of the meetings. He's just collecting this money that the government is handing him.
None of that.
Let's pause here for a minute. They give $500,000 to start to gang leaders who believe they have influence in their communities and they could stop or prevent gang violence, okay? Now, there are target words here we got to fix. Influence, okay? What does that mean? What does that mean, okay? That means, do you have street credibility, right? Do you have control in your particular hood? How does one obtain control? How does one obtain influence? Usually comes from, the person with the most street cred, the person who's been a leader in that community for years, the person who put in the most work. So essentially, they are rewarding you, right, for causing the most violence and putting in the most work in your community, right? And that's how you are rewarded a $500,000 contract to start. Now,
so you have an actual incentive to be a demon in your neighborhood, to terrorize people, to rob people, to steal and stuff like that, because you'll be considered an influencer and you can get this money from the government. You can get this $500,000. So they're actually incentivizing this.
Now, there are other people that we know, right, who contracts increase from $500,000 to $900,000 to $2 million, right? So this is just a start. And as you guys heard right here, man, we don't go to those meetings, man. So it's all a long game. It's all a con to them, right? They don't show up to meetings, right? They don't report the shootings. No, they see it as a long con game. But it gets worse, okay? Let him explain the activities they're being paid $500,000, millions of dollars every year to stop. Let them explain what exactly, right, they're being paid millions of dollars to do. Here are specific examples.
So the main job that they got to do working for on the city contract is make sure there's no retaliation. That's the main job. If somebody gets shot, they got to surround that family. They got to go to the hospital. They got to do whatever is possible. One of the 60s died. I think he had a heart attack or something. And they had the funeral on the street that I grew up on.
In the 80s?
In the 20s.
Oh, yeah.
And they called me and said, Skip, we coming. And I got like 5, 6 20s to come with me, and we stood outside. And the 60s had a big old funeral, blew everything. Of course, they mad. Like, why y'all got the criminals? And I hired the Rolling 40s for over there. I got the K-line. So I got 4 individuals at all time out on Crenshaw helping people with the K-line.
That sounded amazing, but I'm going to break down exactly what that means, okay? Mm-hmm. So we either paid them $42 million or they're shooting up funerals, okay? Or if somebody comes through with a funeral in their hood, they don't like them, they will shoot up the funeral. And if we wanted to stop, we have to pay them not to shoot up funerals, okay? If your loved one gets shot, the ambulance got to transport them. We either pay them to prevent them from shooting up the ambulance and shooting up your loved one from within the ambulance, or else if we don't pay them, well, hey, guess what? The ambulance going to be shot up. The K-line is the train, okay? Pay them to guard the train, or else, hey, man, we just going to beat up anyone we don't like who we see on the train. Hey, right? This is textbook extortion. This is, this is like the mob coming to the new store on the block and letting them know, hey, pay us a fee or else this store will get robbed.
Exactly.
You
except for the government. LA citizens are footing the bill. The taxpayers are paying for, all taxpayers in LA is paying for this though. The entire city is being extorted by gang members, and it's a law to do so. They created a whole entire program to do so. This is madness. Instead of just going in and cleaning up the crime, cleaning up your city, you paying criminals. This is wild to me. You're playing gangbangers. Who thought of this? Who thought of this?
Who don't want a store to get robbed, right? So pay us this fee. You don't want for funerals to be shot up, right? Give us $42 million a year. This is absurd.
Yeah.
How about we put stronger restrictions in, okay? How about we bring back the 3-strike laws for gangbangers? How about we do a mandatory 2 strikes for anything violence? So hence, if somebody has, I don't know, bro, a shoplifting charge in their past and they shoot up a funeral, guess what? Life in prison. How about that, bro? How about we work on getting them off the streets instead of incentivizing them and paying them not to do what they shouldn't be doing in the first place? Huh? So a better use of our money is giving $42 million to gangbangers not to shoot up funerals, instead of giving it to the homeless, instead of giving it to hardworking people, instead of giving it to children for scholarship funds, instead of giving it to hardworking citizens who are trying to get by. We rather feed gangbangers $42 million a year. So again, they can buy what? They Glocks, they drugs, put it back in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you guys think this money is going?
Right.
Y'all think what? They getting paid? They getting paid and they going to church and like giving tithes? They getting paid and they are buying like stocks? They getting paid and you think that's no? They getting paid and put that money back in the streets. This is what's happening. It's a $42 million scam.
Facts.
And that's apparently what Rodnell wants to hurt me for, that I keep on exposing these people. Now, you let me know.
Rodnell is a gangbanger. That's the one that's saying you better, Flacco better watch his back. He's he's shining the light on this information, and they're upset again that he's gonna mess up their money because he's shining the light on this stuff.
Comment section. Do you think it's fair? Do you think a good use of $42 million of our hard-on tax-paying money should go to paying gangbangers not to shoot up funerals?
Right, it's crazy. Absolutely should not be sending y'all taxpayer money to gangbangers. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this, man. This is crazy. LA lost the plot a long time ago, man. But y'all leave your comments down below, like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.